Revelations 13, 1 through 3. And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and I saw a beast arise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. And the beast which I saw was like upon a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority. And I saw one of the heads, as it were, wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast.
Good evening, friends and family. Welcome back to another session of the Truth Enlightened. Happy Sabbath. The Sabbath is still on, especially where I am. The sun is still up, and for some of you, it's the ending of Sabbath, and for some, Sabbath is already in. Nonetheless, want to greet you in the good name of the precious name of the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and trust that you had a wonderful week. The week seemed to have fly by, and the Bible said times will be quickly passing by. So we're seeing it. It's another week, and I hope that your weekend is find you in good health and strength. And that, and in sound mind. I trust that some of you have gone to the Truth Enlightened YouTube page and like and subscribe and hit, I trust that you have been hitting the notification bell so that you'll be notified whenever a video is uploaded. And for those of you who are yet to do it, I ask that you go there and do so. Want to thank you in anticipation, and I want to thank those of you who have already subscribed. Thank you for your subscription. For those of you who will be coming on the live, I trust that you might share the live, and so that someone else may be blessed. Any questions? You can feel free to ask, put it in the description below. And, whatever you might think is not too clear to you and you need clearing up, please feel free to ask. If there is a comment that you need to make, you can go ahead and make your comments. All right. It's a learning situation for all of us. I'm learning as well as I go along. So, as iron sharpeneth iron, that is what I expect, that we sharpen each other, and so that, we can better serve Christ, and, as we prepare for his soon return. All right. Last week, we looked at how to become more spiritually mature. This week, we'll be dealing with breakthrough. We hear that word a lot. Spiritual breakthrough. People talking about having a spiritual breakthrough. And, what it really means to have a spiritual breakthrough. Some people believe that, if you jump up and you hit the ceiling, you dance, you jump around, or you speak in tongues, or whatever, something spectacular happen, then you've had a spiritual breakthrough. However, I trust that by the time this topic has come to an end, you would have gathered exactly or learned exactly what it means to have a spiritual breakthrough. All right? So and then after that, we'll be looking for L tip, would be brain health, how we can nourish our brains. So without any further ado, let's go into the topic. Spiritual breakthrough, what it is. The idea of a spiritual breakthrough is subjective, and the term itself is not found in the Bible. Generally speaking, a spiritual breakthrough is an experience of having reached a new level of spirituality, whatever that means to the person who is breaking through. The experience will be different depending on the person and the religion in question. In Christian circles, spiritual breakthrough can be defined as a time when a person is saved, gain the deeper understanding of biblical truth, receive an answer to prayer, or wins the victory over besetting sins. Paul's experience on Damascus Road could be considered a spiritual breakthrough, as he saw for the first time who Jesus really is, according to Acts chapter 9. Peter's experience on the rooftop in Joppa could be considered a spiritual breakthrough, as he learned that the gospel was for all people, Gentiles included, Acts 10. The conversation of Lydia on the outskirts of Philippi could be seen as a spiritual breakthrough, as she was the first person saved on the soil of Europe, according to Acts 16. The idea of a breakthrough suggests a preceding struggle that finally speaks and finds resolution. Believers might seek a spiritual breakthrough when they are feeling far away from God. Many believers feel that they need a regular emotional experience during worship or prayer, and that if they don't feel that emotion, there is something wrong with them, or God has walked away for some reason. That's what we considered a lot of times spiritual breakthrough. If you go into the church and you don't have some out-of-world experience, then you haven't experienced a breakthrough. However, this is wrong thinking. The Bible says that God is always with those who trust in Him, guiding them, Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5 through 6, that we are never separated from His love, according to Romans 8:37 through 39, and that we can rest contentedly in His promise. Never will I leave you, never will I forsake you. Hebrews 13:4. Should we seek a spiritual breakthrough? We can and should pray for wisdom, according to James 1:5. Victory over sin in Ephesians chapter 6 verses 18, and the filling of the Spirit in Ephesians chapter 5 verse 18. But intimacy with God does not require a series of spiritual breakthroughs, working under the assumption that a connection with God already exists. That is, a person has faith in Jesus Christ for salvation. Spiritual growth occurs in that person as naturally as a tree growing in the soil and sun. The tree grows because of its placement, its nearness to God, Psalms 1. How do we achieve nearness to God? It happens exactly as it would in a human to human relationship. Nothing different. Spending time together, knowing one another's thoughts, and making choices that please the other person. We read the Bible, which is the sum of revealed thoughts to man. Pray to him, trusting that he is faithful to do what he promises. 2 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 19 through 20. Deuteronomy 7:9. Hebrews 11:6. And choose to think and act according to what is good. Philippians chapter 4, verse 8. And Galatians 5:16 through 24. Finally, the healthiest human relationships are not based on breakthroughs or emotional highs, but on steady, patient growth through faithfulness and love. It is no different in our relationship with God. No difference whatsoever. Emotional and spiritual highs do occur. We sometimes receive amazing answers to prayer or times of extraordinary insight or periods of intense joy. But these are frosting, delicious, but not to be sought as the substance of our relationship. If we focus only on the highs, we might miss the beautiful, quiet moments in the valley when God works unseen and we experience no thrilling epiphany. Rather than focus on our own experience, what we should do? We should pray in patience and perseverance that God will complete the good work he began in us, however he sees fit, according to Philippians chapter 1, verse 6. That brings us to the end of that topic on what is a spiritual breakthrough. I hope we understand, and if you understand and you know somebody who do not understand and talk about spiritual breakthrough as only when you can, jump up and hit the ceiling or dance on your head, speak in tongues, or whatever, thing they consider spiritual breakthrough. I trust that you will be able to educate them. You have the supportive text that will take you to the Bible that will show you what it means to have a spiritual breakthrough. Simply having Jesus coming into your life and transforming your life from wretched man or woman you or I may be to the kind of person that he wants us to be is spiritual breakthrough. And you do not always have to feel. You don't have to feel. We work with feelings. I always want to feel the hype, and that is why churches do what they do. A lot of churches, they have the music, you have the pastor preaching, you have the music behind and working up something, and have people carrying on because this is the Spirit moving. They think, moving and everybody can get in a certain mood, and that's having a spiritual break. That ain't nothing. If it's got to do with that, then something is, the Bible is not right. It doesn't have to do with what you feel. You don't have to feel a thing. You only have to know is what you know, right? And what we need to know is how to love God with all our hearts, mind, soul, and strength. And how to love our neighbors as we love ourselves. When we can master that, we have a breakthrough. That's the greatest breakthrough we can ever wish for. All right? The love of God, love from God, and the love of God that will work in us to love our fellow man. All right? So now for our L tip. What you need to know about food for brain health. We focus on health, different kind of, aspects of health. And many a times we forget that our brain needs nourishment, right? So let's see how far we can get. And this is a statement from WebMD, and I'm not a doctor. I don't pretend to be, far from it, but this is just giving you these tips that you may be able to make a choice as to how you wanna your physical life to be, right? And giving you the spiritual that you may choose whether you want a healthy spiritual life. And every person who loves God should love to have a physical, spiritual and physical health. All right. So if your brain is not working right, then your whole body, and it's going to affect your the spiritual aspect as well. How foods help the brain. For all your food, for all your organs, your brain takes the most energy. Your body requires healthy food with certain nutrients and vitamins to fuel your brain. Those nutrients help to build brain structure, keep cells working, and help you learn, think, and do tasks. The key nutrients and vitamins include B vitamins, vitamin E, omega fatty acid, antioxidants, and choline. B vitamin. B vitamins like folic acid, vitamins like folic acid and B12 are important for making brain chemicals. They are also responsible for helping break down foods into energy the brain can use. Not enough B vitamin can cause nerve damage, low energy, forgetfulness, depression, trouble learning, and trouble thinking. Vitamin E. Your brain needs vitamin E to protect cells from being destroyed by natural process in the body. Not enough vitamin E can cause symptoms like muscle weakness, unsteadiness, poor coordination, and damage to sensory nerves. Omega-3 fatty acid. Fatty acids are used to create structure of cells and to help your nervous system work. Omega-3 fatty acids are important for children's developing brain. Not enough essential fatty acids in growing children can have lasting effects on the brain and can cause learning problems. Antioxidants. Some fruits and vegetables have lots of antioxidants. They help protect the brain from damage. They might also help with memory loss and inflammation. Choline. Choline is an essential nutrient that you need to get from food. It does many things for your body, including protecting your nerves and creating brain chemicals Not enough of this vitamin can cause memory problems. What's the best diet? The best diet for better brain health. No single food is the key to better brain. Certain diets and habits can help your brain and lead to better health. These include the Mediterranean diet, the DASH diet, which is dietary approach to stop hypertension. You have the MIND diet, Mediterranean DASH intervention for neurodegenerative delay, low alcohol, low sugar, low processed foods. Experts aren't sure these diets prevent brain disease like Alzheimer's disease. They help with better heart health and blood pressure, which should mean fewer problems with brain disease. The Mediterranean DASH or MIND diet are similar. These include eating foods like dark leafy green vegetables, whole grains, fatty fish, poultry, beans, nuts and seeds, berries, and olive oil. The best foods for brain health. Following these diets is one way to support support good brain health and heart health. You can also add a specific food that are specifically high in important nutrients. Wild salmon, fatty fish like salmon are great brain food as they have lots of naturally occurring omega-3 fatty acid. Healthy fats help lower your chance of heart disease, which also lower your chance of brain disease. Some people want to take fish oil supplements, but these don't seem to help your brain. The best way to get omega is through your food. Other types of fatty fish include mackerel, trout, herring, and sardines. Flax and chia seed. Nuts and seeds have lots of omega-3 fatty acid. They have lots of omega-3 fatty acid too. Flax and chia seeds are high in vitamin E. You can also eat walnut, almond, and pistachios. Avocados. These fruits are full of vitamin E, vitamin C, and folate. Avocados are also a great source of healthy fats and omega-3 fatty acid. Blueberries. These fruits have lots of flavonoid and antioxidants that help with memory and inflammation. Whole grains. Whole grains are carbohydrates that can be a type of energy for the body and brain. They also have lots of vitamin and fiber that can help protect against heart disease and other health problems. Types of whole grains include brown rice, oat, bulgur, quinoa, wild rice, and spelt. Other lifestyle changes for better brain health. There are other things you can do that can help you have a healthier brain. Avoid fatty and sugary foods. Eating sugar can cause brain fog, sluggishness, and tiredness. These symptoms come from the brain and not your gut. If you have a poor diet and lots of sugar, you can lose important structures and activities in your brain. This can lead to an aging brain and dementia. Don't drink alcohol. Alcohol changes your brain. It can make you feel more relaxed, but drinking too much can also make you depressed and anxious. Chronic heavy drinking can also cause permanent changes and brain damage. Stay active. Exercise helps you keep a healthy weight, lower your risk for heart disease, and helps you make brain chemicals that improve your mood. Quit smoking. Smoking causes heart disease, stroke, and cancer. If you smoke, you should stop. Take your medication. Sometimes you might have mental illness or other conditions like thyroid disease that can affect your brain. Make sure to take your medication every day to keep your brain healthy. Practice mindfulness. Learning to be in the present moment can help you be focused on and calm. This can help you create a sense of well-being and better mental health. Finally, a healthy diet is an important part of a healthy body and mind. Individual foods on their own aren't the answer to better brain health, but an overall healthy diet and lifestyle can help. All right? So I like the part where it says mindfulness, right? Learning to be calm, and not focusing on, getting too hype or panicky about what's to come. This is the part that your spiritual life would come in greatly, would help you, with your physical, because when you have a good mindset, when you have healthy thoughts, and you don't live in the past, you're not anxious about the future, and you take life moment at a time, especially allowing God to have his way with you, right? Then, man, I'm telling you, you're on your way to better spiritual, mental, emotional, physical health. All right? So I trust that this has been some help to you. And, if you find this interested, then like, share, and invite a friend or someone, that you think, need to, to have, their spiritual or physical health, together, or more, stronger, do so. Or you can go over to the YouTube channel, The Truth Enlightened, and, support, Nonetheless, I want to thank you for, your attention. For those of you who would be viewing this later on, may God bless you, and, may He help you in your choices, help you to make right choices, so that you can be, better people and in other words, so that you can be more effective in your community and the people around you. All right, so I want to thank you. May God bless you. May he cause his face to shine upon you. And may he give you peace in your heart, peace in your home, peace on your job, peace in the street, and wherever you go, may his peace be with you. Until next time, God love you, and I'll see you then.